Hello, my name is Arya Peruma from the Coding for Young Minds community organization, and today I'll be demonstrating this project I have made using Python as the primary coding language. This project is essentially all about adding objects to a scene and positioning and animating them. And keep in mind aspects like adding the background were another part of this code which will not be in my demonstration. In other words, I'm only going to be demonstrating a portion of my code today. And this demonstration is all about how I have added these spaceships to the scene and how I have positioned and animated these as well. So the first thing I did was call a built-in function. In this case, the function I called was add heading, my fleet and 100 being the values in this function. And since my fleet is a string, it is in quotes. This piece of code just adds the title to my project. And as you can see, it just adds the title or the heading of my fleet into my project. And essentially, the string just represents the text which would be displayed in my project, which is my fleet. And the numerical value of 100 just represents the size of the text. Next, I created variables for my spaceships. I created the variables of ship size, top, left, name of ship, and is engine on. Ship size represents the size of my spaceships, which is 100. Top represents how many pixels from the top the spaceship would be positioned at, which is 300. Left represents how many pixels from the left the spaceship would be positioned at, which is 100. Name of ship represents how you identify that all spaceships would be the same in terms of dimensions, and I've just given it a string of arc, but the string value could be any value. And finally, is engine on represents whether the ship would have this animated effect or not. As you can see over here, the ships have this animated effect, and in order to achieve this, I've just given is engine on a value of Boolean true. However, if I were to change the Boolean from true to false, as you could see, what happens is when you display this project again, you could see that me changing it to false actually stopped this animation or animated effect of the spaceships from occurring. And the spaceships are all just in a standstill motion right now. And that's essentially why I had this equal to the Boolean of true, so I could achieve that animated effect. Next, I've called a function called add spaceship, which essentially now will add spaceships to my scene. I have put all the variables which I created in this function, as you can see the variables are top, left, ship size, name of ship, and is engine on, and I've just put those 5 variables I created previously over here. And as you can see, the function takes the values I've inputted for my variables. So for example, if I had variable top here inside my function, since I have given variable top a value of 300, it would take top as 300 over here in this specific function for this specific spaceship. However, if I only had lines of code consisting of this specific line in order to achieve more spaceships into my scene, all my ships would be in the same position and overlap. So in order to prevent this, when adding more spaceships, I changed the values of variables top and left when I added more spaceships after this. And I did this by adding or subtracting from the values of the original variable in order to change each spaceship's position. For example, if you take a look at this first spaceship over here, you can see that I have done top minus 200. And as you can see, this just basically represents the original value of top, which was 300 over here, subtracted by 200, which now gives a new value of variable top as 100 for this specific spaceship. And same thing for the left position as well. I have subtracted 100 from the original value of left, which is 100, now giving a new variable of left as value 0 for the specific spaceship. So I've just repeated that same thing for multiple spaceships, and I've just changed the positions of top and left by adding or subtracting numerical values to each line of code for each spaceship I have added. And I've just essentially done that same thing over and over again. So this brings us to an end of today's demonstration. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in another interesting coding video. Thank you and bye.